Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. This is your girl Net's Life. Today I just want to talk to you guys. I've been doing a lot of crying this morning. I did so much crying. I had prayed and I repented. I prayed and I repented to God because y'all, I passed my test, but honestly, some of you might say you failed your test. So I'm going to give y'all my testimony today. I believe that I did pass my test. Y'all can comment down below and let me know if y'all think I passed my test or failed my test. So I have a testimony this morning. First of all, I cried so much, y'all. Y'all keep me in prayer. I've been noticing, like, when I'm going through a lot or stress, my chest starts to hurt. So as I'm doing this video, I want to do a lot of breathing because I've been doing a lot of crying right before this video. And I repented to God. So let me tell y'all my testimony. So it's approximately 5:50 a.m. in the morning. And it might be between 5:40 and 5:50 a.m. this morning. And I'm on my way to work. I noticed I had no gas in my car. So I was debating on what gas station to go to. I try not to go to like gas stations where I think I might get robbed or anything like that. So this day, which is today, I'm like, listen, I'm just gonna get gas, you know. So this is what I was thinking as I pulled up. So I pulls in and I see this guy that he's always out there. He begs for change all the time. And mind you, I never really go to this gas station. When I do go to this gas station, he's never there. But me riding past it all the time because it's in my city, he's always normally there. So when I ride by, I always see him. And then it's another guy. I'm not sure if he's homeless. I'm not even sure if the one guy said he has somewhere to live, but the other guy never told me if he was homeless or not. So in my mind, automatically, if I see somebody laying on the ground, in my mind, possibly he's homeless. So as I pull in, I see the guy, the beggar, and then I see the one guy laying on the ground. So in my mind, I'm like, God, please don't let him ask me for no money. You know, I don't want to give, and this is selfishness. This is what I say, and this is why I'm telling y'all I was very selfish today. And I said, I don't want to give my hard-working money, and I know what he's going to do with it, right? So right there, I begin to judge, and it says, judge ye not. So I goes in the gas station. That man did not ask me for nothing. He just looked at me like he wanted to ask me, and I just gave him a look like, don't ask me. It's too early in the morning. I want to get my gas and I want to leave. And that's the look that I gave, so he won't ask me. So he didn't ask me anything. As I come out, I hear him ask the one guy that went in and out before me, because he went in and out twice before me, he said to him, can you spare some change? He's like, look, man, I gotta go to work. So the other guy, I guess he's doing whatever he's doing. So now at this point, I'm coming out. I can hear him. So I must have been coming out as I heard their conversation, or as I was going in. I can't remember exactly, but I just know that I heard their conversation. Yeah, it was as I was going in, but as I was coming out, I pumped my gas. I'm like, yes, he didn't ask me for nothing. You know, I can go to work. So I pump my gas. I get to my car. This guy look at me. He didn't ask me for nothing. I pulls up to him. I give him $1 and some spare change that I had. Bam. I pulls off, but my heart, I did it because I'm like, this man might really need $1. I don't want to judge what he's doing with it. So I pulls off, and as I go through the light, I come back, and I had a banana for lunch. And I heard the voice say, give somebody your banana. So I gave the guy that I gave the change to the banana. The guy that was laying on the ground, he got up and walked down some. But he wasn't leaving the gas station. So I said, here, do me a favor, give him this banana. Give this banana to the man. He said, okay. I pulls off again. Had to come back. I heard God say, give him your lunch. So now, I go back and get him man my lunch. As I pull off, I had a whole meltdown, y'all. Because initially, I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to give because I judged. That was my first thing. And I had a couple more ones. I still have a couple more ones in my bag. And in my mind, I'm like, God, I'm barely making it. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And I asked God for my forgiveness. As I left, I started to cry. I started to ask God. I asked God for my forgiveness. I asked God for my forgiveness, y'all, because I did not want to give to the man that I knew in my mind, that I thought, and I still really don't know what he was going to do with that $1 and that change. But the test was when he told me to go back and give to the other man. I gave my lunch. I gave my banana. And in my mind, it belonged to me. But God said, nothing belongs to you. I own everything. So I'm getting hot, y'all. So I began to repent sorrowfully. Crying out, melting down, asking God to please forgive me. At first, it's like I wanted to give, but in my mind, I'm like, this is all I have. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm going through a struggle. This is me talking to God. Like, before the man even asked me, like, I'm talking to God. And then I begin to repent because I have so much. And we are so selfish that do have. We are so selfish. We are so selfish. And the flesh came out in me, and I was so selfish. Like, this all I had. This all I have, God. Why I gotta get mine? Why I gotta get my $1? It was more so about the money for me. Why I gotta get when this man may smoke it up or buy a drink with it and ask more people for money? Well, I was judging, and I asked God to forgive me for that. I did. I asked God to forgive me, y'all, for that. I felt so bad. I began to thank God for the paycheck to paycheck. I began to thank God for the little bit of money, for even the little bit of ones I have left in my bag. I began to thank God for even a little bit of money on my Cash App even though I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I have more than what that man on the corner having. The man on the corner, when I gave him the money, and then when I gave him the food, I said, can you give this to him? And he said, yeah, I'll give it to him because I have a house down a block. And I said, so you could warm his food up. And the guy was like, he took that food right away and began to say thank you. And he told me, he was like, thank you so much. The guy gave him the banana. The guy that I gave the money to gave him the food. And the guy said, thank you. Thank you for this food. He was like, I'm a recovering addict. That's when I had to repent, y'all. Because initially, the guy that was laying down on the ground, when I seen him, at first I didn't know it was him because his head was covered. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh. This person, in my head, I thought it was a female. In my head, I'm like, oh, she want to ask me for some money. But the whole time, the one on the ground never asked me for anything. And the one that was begging didn't ask me neither. But once I gave and seen their circumstance, even though I'm in a circumstance, even though I'm going through a struggle, I thank God that I'm not where they are. I thank God for my house. Because God can really strip me. God can really bring me down to where they are. God can really strip me, y'all. And the one that was begging said he had a house. But I don't know his circumstance. I don't know why he's asking for money. In my mind, I could assume. I can assume anything. I can assume that he's possibly going to get that money, in my mind, to the drug man and collect more. But who's to say he's doing that? Who's to say what he's doing with that money? It's not for me to judge. Yo, I believe I passed the test because I did repent. I did do what God told me to. That was my test. So I wanted to give this testimony to y'all and tell y'all, instantly don't judge, instantly give, instantly don't think about what they're doing with the money. Just give. And the purpose was for me to feed the homeless man, for me to feed the person, whether he was homeless or not. He said he was a recovering addict and he needed something to eat, and he did not beg for money. So in my mind, if you're a recovering addict, that means you're no longer on drugs. But look how I judged. I'm at work now, y'all. I'm asking my viewers to forgive me. And first and foremost, before I got on here, I already asked God to forgive me, and I'm asking him again to forgive me for being selfish, for being stingy, for not wanting to give, judging what they're doing with the money. Because for me, I didn't know I was giving up my whole lunch. And I'm glad and I'm grateful that I did. But in the beginning, initially, I did not want to give. And it wasn't even a thought about my food. It was a thought about the money. I passed the test, y'all. I passed the test, y'all. So I prayed and I asked God to forgive me. If y'all was in a similar situation, comment and say, girl, you're not alone. But I'm asking you guys to forgive me. And I already asked God for his forgiveness. Don't judge a book by its cover. God bless y'all.